So I had a hydraulic hose blow out on the excavator yesterday, and it blew out pretty good. It made a pop, pretty loud pop, and it just sprayed hydraulic fluid everywhere. Hopefully you can see like right here, it blew out that whole section right there. It was pouring out. And when I first looked at this hose, it had this metal spring. It's kind of protecting this hose. I thought it was a part of the hose. It may have been somehow crimped or attached to the ends. So I priced a Kubota hose, $213 for a replacement. But now that I've got it off the machine, I can see the spring is just loose on here. It's not really attached. So I should be able to just slide this, cut the hose, slide the spring off, and then I could probably go into town and have them make me a custom hose with the spring back on the new custom hose. It'll look like factory, but it should save me a few dollars. So I just got back from a hydraulic shop. They made me a brand new hose. Cost me about $74 for the hose, but it's not exactly the same. So the old hose was a 5/8 hose. It was a bigger hose, but then it had this more like a 1/2 inch end on it. So it was a big hose, small end. They couldn't make it the same way like that. So they just made it with the same end and the same size hose that matches it. So it's like a 1/2 inch end with a 1/2 inch hose. Should work perfectly fine, but the spring doesn't quite fit on there the same. It'll actually slide up and cover the fitting up, but I should be able to get this on there and it should work fine. All right, we'll try this out, see if it leaks. Well, I didn't see the hydraulic hose leak, but I do see dripping now. I think the other side's leaking. It is. Right there on this side, same hose. Leaking. What the heck? Well, hopefully it's just a loose fitting. Oh, well, it turned. Might be a loose fitting. Try it again. I think that took care of it. I think it's just loose. Finally caught a break. So I'm glad I got the excavator working again because I may need it today. So my plan is to move the carport that's up at the front of our property. We're gonna try to load that onto a trailer, and then we're gonna tow it out here into the pasture, and then we're gonna try to set that carport in place. Gonna use it as a livestock shelter is the plan. And I may need the excavator for that job. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and grab a trailer, get it hooked up to the truck, and we'll get it positioned over by the carport, and then we'll start seeing what we can do to load it up. All right, there's one anchor in that corner. There's gotta be like, I think 3 or 4. Oh, right here, here's an anchor, right here in the middle. Yep, another anchor in this corner. So I'm gonna grab I've got the tractor, I'm gonna get the pallet forks under the carport, and then I'll try to lift it up in each one of these points so we can loosen the anchors up, hopefully get them out of the ground. They're about 4 or 5 feet long, I think. They go under?
I can't tell.
Huh?
I can't tell.
Here goes. That one's not up very high. None of them are up very high, are they? I thought I would have pulled them up higher than that. Oh. Oh. All right, there's the first one. It's been bent, so it's just a piece of rebar, and they put a nail head like on the top of it. Somehow this one, they must have drove it in and it bent over, so then they just drove it in bent, because this hasn't moved since they installed it. Oh man, yeah, it's shaped like a candy cane at the end. I don't think there's any getting that back out. Oh, I might surprise myself. Haha! Got it out. I don't know if you guys can see that. That was at the very bottom, so that's when they drove it in the ground. They may have hit a, well, there's an old foundation under here. There used to be a house sitting here, so they may have hit concrete or something. Yeah, it seems to be out of the ground. There we go. It's the only one that's fairly straight. Now the other side's gonna be a little trickier. So on this side of the carport, I've got the old trailer frame here that we want to use for a bridge on the pond, and there's only maybe 6 feet in between it and the carport. So I can probably get the 2 end anchors out. I'm just afraid the middle one might be hard. And it may go better than I think. I got it. On this one, I think we'll just throw a chain around it, see if we can pull it out. Okay. That was a little more apparent that it pulled out that time. Well, I know I didn't really want to try to put pressure on these, but I think we'll try to lift on this to get that last middle pin out. Hopefully it works.
Bowing.
To get this center anchor out on this side, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go back get the excavator, see if I can kind of get that in here as close as possible. I should be able to reach out here with the arm, and we can wrap a chain around this and lift it up. All right, we're gonna dig under here so we can get the chain around the bottom of the frame and then get it on the bucket of the excavator and lift. I'm gonna try to swing this bucket like right up against this frame and then use it to lift up. Hopefully it stays on the bucket. like they rust in the ground and swell up. Got it out. All right, this side of the carport is lifted. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it in the air, go to the other side with the pallet forks of the tractor. We're gonna lift that side up. Hopefully we can get it high enough. We'll back the trailer right underneath it.
So scary.
The braces I put in.
It looks level.
It looks level?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's definitely high enough to get the trailer under the supports we got here, so we'll go ahead back under. We'll try to center the trailer as best we can, and then we'll set it back down. I'm gonna go ahead and lower that side. Yeah, when I lower this side, I can see what's going on. I can't see nothing from that other side.
Bowing a little.
Well, our steel tube supports are definitely, they're bowed. This is pretty good stress on them. We're not going very far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and C-clamp these to the trailer. And that's to help them from sliding off as we drive down the driveway. All right, we got the carport on the trailer. It's ready to move. But the next thing we need to do is we need to go move the livestock, close off that pasture. We're gonna have to cut the fence, pull out a few posts so that we can drive it in there. So let's head over there. So my plan is to cut this fence somewhere in here, and we're gonna pull out these two T-posts, and we should have about 36 feet between the two wooden posts. Should be plenty of room to drive the carport through. All right, now I should be able to fold it back a little bit. Okay. Oh, barbed wire. Well, we started to pull this one up and the bottom barbed wire is still attached. Well, I think we're finally to the point of trying to move the carport. Now we do have a couple obstacles. We got this big tree right here that we somehow got to turn and get around it. I'm not for sure how well that's going to work. We may have to go back and forth a little bit to finally get in the right position. Now then, one other obstacle we're going to have, and we've got this whole mess of trees right here, and some of them stick out past, like over the actual driveway. So I know that we're gonna rub on these trees. Like right here, this one is out in the driveway. I probably should have trimmed it. So as we look, the gravel of the driveway is like right here. So this is gonna be a problem. That tree down there is gonna be a problem. So if we can get past this, I think the rest of the way will be fine. We'll be able to get in the pasture. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the truck. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna do a wide turn here. You just gotta keep an eye, make sure the sides don't drag or hit anything. Am I hitting the tree? Aren't I? All right, obstacle number one. Looks like we got past it.
you gotta watch the culvert.
Oh, this is gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Well, I can either try to push through this. Making it. Good deal. Made it through. Well, we think we got it roughly where we want it.
Looks like you could drive out.
Yeah, we're off the trailer. All right, Rebecca's gonna try to lower that side while I lower this side. All right, we got the carport set exactly where we want it. We did measure off of this side to the fence to make sure that it's straight with the fence. We're only a couple inches off. I think we'll go ahead and we'll unbolt these two braces here, and then we'll throw those in the trailer. And after that, we'll see what we need to do to level this. And once it's level, we'll go ahead and drive the stakes in the ground, anchor it back down. Grab that in, we'll see if we can get it out. I'll get mine first.
Okay.
Oh, tight. Oh, got it. Oh yeah, she ain't straight no more. She's got a bow in it.
Yeah.
You want me to lift first or you? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you come your way. You can't bend it. You gotta go straight that direction. There you go. All right. Rebecca wants her seat to stay cool in the shade.
Extremely hot out.
All right, I got a level on this side between the lines pretty much. Pretty much level on this side too. It's gonna be a lot harder to hammer with this siding on here.
Yeah, like I see a wasp nest up in there.
Oh,
I saw some more coming out.
got that one.
There's probably more.
Whoa. All right, she's anchored. You want to bring one of them buckets over here? I can throw these scrap pieces of wire in there. Just gonna strip out about 8 inches on each end of this fence, and then we'll splice it back together. The fence was fairly loose anyway. I'm pretty sure it'll pull back together 8 inches. All right, we're gonna splice our barbed wire. All right, so I'm gonna splice this barbed wire back together. And this smaller barbed wire, I can use this to regular gripple to splice it. If I can release it. Okay. Did you take the top one out? I thought I had it in.
No. You took it out.
Oh.
You had it in, you took it out.
Oh. Now we can splice it together with some gripples. I'm just going to tighten these gripples, get the slack out of everything. All right. All right, it's the next morning now. After we finished splicing this fence back together last night, we decided to quit for the day because it was pretty hot and miserable out here. And today what I need to do is I just need to get this fence, which if you look at this fence, you can see it's not attached to the posts. So I need to go back through here. I just need to get it stapled to the wooden post, tied off to the T-posts, and then the fence is complete. So for the T-posts, I'm using these Beckhart T-post clips. You just kind of put them around the post and then you twist them on with a drill. After using these things, I don't think I could go back to the old style. All right, the fence is all tied off to all the fence posts. The fence is nice and tight now. It was pretty loose before. And this is just regular field fencing. It's low carbon steel. It's a soft steel. It actually stretches. And the problem with that is it goes through hot summer and cold winter. It contracts and expands and it loosens up on you. It seems to only, for me, my experience with it, it only seems to stay tight for about 1 year. And then after that, it kind of gets waves in it. It's just not nice and tight like high tensile fence is. After putting in the high tensile fence on the new pasture, that's definitely the way I'm gonna go in the future for all of my fences. This stuff just ends up getting loose. So right here is our splice. We've got about a 12-inch wide opening here. This is between the verticals, but this is 4 inches wide. There's none of our livestock are gonna fit through these squares. Now the reason that happened, I guess I didn't explain it well to Rebecca, and she ended up stripping out 12 inches on this side instead of 8. And that's probably my fault for not explaining it well. But if we would have stripped it out at 8 inches on each end, we would have had a vertical right here, and then we would have just had this little 8-inch rectangle which would have looked a lot better. But nonetheless, the fence the way it is, it's gonna work just fine. So the carport is not sitting exactly where I wanted it. I think we're like 27 feet off of that fence line, 27.5 feet. And I really wanted it probably tucked in a little bit closer to the fence, but I wanted to leave about 10 feet so I could still get through there with a mower or tractor and mow back there. But just the way we had to unload it with the tractor and the pallet forks, I needed enough space. This is where it ended up being the best place to just unload it. So this is where it's gonna sit. So I do want to make some changes to the carport. I'm gonna try to build a wall here on the north side and just close that in. That way it'll protect the livestock from the north wind and the west wind. The other thing I plan on doing is I will probably put some 2x10 boards across this wall, and that is to help keep the cattle from rubbing on this and pushing outward on these panels, because if they push too hard, they'll just pop them right through the screws. So I'll probably try to strengthen this wall. Could be plywood, could be some 2x10s, 2x8s, something like that, but something to keep them from pressing up against the metal on this side. So this carport is roughly 18 by 20 feet, and it should make a nice little shelter for the livestock. Didn't really cost us anything, but about a few days worth of effort to get it moved. So for the rest of the day today, Rebecca's planning on mowing the yard. That's what she's doing right now. And I'm gonna clean up in the workshop. After working on the excavator the other day, I got a lot of stuff to clean up, put away, and I'm gonna do some organization in here and see if I can free up this bay right here and get it to where I can drive in and out of this one. So just gonna be doing some odds and ends today. And we are smoking a turkey. We got a turkey in the smoker, just put it in a couple minutes ago. But there it is, big old turkey. And that is one that we raised here on the property, I think last year. We aren't raising turkeys this year, but we still have a few in the freezer. So you guys may have noticed this hat in a couple of videos, and we had some new hats made. They're gray with a black back on them. And we have these in adult size, but we also have them in youth size. People were wanting a youth size hat. So we do have both of these. I'm gonna put them in the store for sale before this video posts. I've had them for a couple weeks now. I just haven't got around to taking pictures of them and posting them on the website. Well guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. The rest of my day is gonna be just some boring stuff, getting tools put away, getting everything cleaned up, getting things organized, freeing up some floor space maybe in the shop. So a lot of times I do these videos, I work on stuff, I get them done, I do the work, I go edit the video and post it, and then I never do a lot of cleanup afterwards. I never go clean up all my tools and put everything away. And then that ends up getting bigger and bigger and bigger of a mess every time. So today, I'm hoping I'm gonna take care of the mess and get everything straightened up. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.